Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann on this Wednesday, September 21st. History yesterday.
Got a lot to talk about.
History yesterday at Yankee Stadium. You love to see it. Number 60 for Aaron Judge. We'll get into it here in just a minute. What we've got coming up on deck for you today, we've got a 9-game slate in daily fantasy baseball for today. We'll go over our top projected players and a look at some sleeper picks as well. We will also have your home run calls of the day and our prop bets of the day. That's what's coming up. Now let's look at some MLB storylines, starting off with Aaron Judge. Hits number 60, tying the Sultan of SWAT. What a moment.
And that's not even the coolest thing about what's going on with Aaron Judge. He currently leads in 10 different batting categories.
Absolutely 10. Unreal. To your point there, if the season ended today, he'd have the Triple Crown. He took over that top spot in batting average, 316, just 1 point in the lead there. And to that note, odds now for Triple Crown for Aaron Judge, minus 115.
The irony of if he doesn't get the Triple Crown and a Red Sox player is the one that stops him from getting the Triple Crown is kind of hilarious to me.
So he hit 60 yesterday. It came off of Will Crow, who actually has a tie to the Yankees. Listen to this. His great-great-uncle was Hall of Famer Red Ruffing, who was Babe Ruth's teammate on the Yankees in the 1930s.
That's funny.
How about that connection?
I like it.
Also, Roger Maris Jr. and Kevin Maris, sons of the former player, were on hand to witness it. He is now just one shy of Roger Maris's record. So, everyone's on Aaron Judge home run watch, including the broadcast crews. This is an interesting storyline that I thought we could debate a little bit today. So the broadcast for today is going to be on the Yankees network, Yes Network. Tomorrow it switches to the national broadcast, the Fox broadcast. Friday it becomes Apple TV Plus or whatever channel that is. And that is free though. If you can figure out how to get there, it's free. And then Saturday goes back to Yes. Sunday it goes to the ESPN crew. Now, with all of this, it means that Michael Kay, who is the Yes Network broadcaster, might not get the 61 home run call, which will be an iconic call for the rest of Major League Baseball. My question to you, Tyler, is as a fan, who do you want calling it? Do you want your home crew? Do you want the national crew?
I think you need the home crew. Having the Fox national crew do it wouldn't be a terrible thing. But, yes, I would say you want the Yes Network doing it. And the 61 is one part of this, but there is a chance that they are also not doing 62.
Correct.
Which, to me, that's the bigger part.
Yeah. I feel like it's such an injustice to the broadcasters who spend every day with that team.
It's a bummer.
You build a relationship with the players. I'm curious from a player's perspective if that's, I don't even know if that's obviously not something going through Aaron Judge's mind right now, but in the future, as maybe you get into a point in your career where you're more reflective and you look back on it, I'm sure it's a moment that you appreciate a broadcaster either nailing it or you're just like, man, he really messed that call up.
Yeah, I as a player, I don't think you really care or worry about it. Maybe 20 years down the line when he's looking back at it, maybe then he'll be like, I wish it was Michael Kay. If, it happens when he's not announcing. So, I mean, we have no idea. How it'll end up playing
transpire.
But it is interesting.
Yeah, Major League Baseball can't be too happy with if it happens on the Apple TV. And I think just because there's not as many eyeballs on that one, as there would be on some others.
The thing that's just the craziest to me is the fact that Yankees did not lock Judge up.
It's just wild.
It is insane.
Setting his price tag. To your point there's a lot of data points that I'm sure his agents will be bringing into the discussion. Not just his statistics on the field, not just the home run, incredible accomplishments he's having on the field. Also, we mentioned the broadcast. Yes, network ratings are up 22% this season in total average viewership. Of the 113 games on Yes thus far this season, 35 games have averaged more than 400,000 viewers, which are the best numbers in baseball, the highest Yes has had in 11 years. And a lot of that can be attributed to Aaron Judge. You're tuning in to see him hit home runs.
100%. It's just like PGA got a huge boost when Tiger Woods was extremely dominant and he went through that run. And it's the same thing here. It's just we have a guy that's doing spectacular things, and it's must-see TV.
Aaron Judge, since hitting home run number 50, ticket prices are up 113% and rising.
Yeah. But I mean, this is the secondary market though, so it's not like the Yankees are seeing that boost.
Making his like his price tag, think of if they had just locked him up at the beginning of this season.
Oh, yeah.
How much that price tag has gone up.
Whatever they paid him at the beginning of this year, right now, everybody in baseball would be like, Yankees did the best thing they could. Now they have him on such a good deal, and now he's going to be highest paid guy in baseball or close to,
Well, as a Yankee fan, I'm trying not to think about that part of the equation. Right now, we're just enjoying the show. I haven't even mentioned Giancarlo Stanton's walk-off grand slam yesterday.
Good old grand salami walk-off.
Which was absolutely incredible. And now you're kind of seeing those bats come alive that were so dead after the All-Star break. And things are starting to come together with Giancarlo Stanton now hitting again. Starting to come alive for the Yankees once again. Which you love to see as we head into October.
That frown you had a couple weeks ago is turned upside down. I see.
Sure has.
Not so
the
worried.
Aaron Judge effect is real.
Yep.
All right.
To mention that, Padres bats are waking up a little bit too.
That's good. I'm happy for you. See, I can be happy for not trying to rain on your parade.
Oh, you were trying to rain on my parade yesterday afternoon.
A little bit.
Oh, boy.
What did I say to you?
I don't know, but I wanted to kick you out of the office.
We were having this discussion yesterday about the broadcast crews and everything, and I just... Little zinger in there.
Little zinger. I almost kicked her out of the office.
Don't you want your local broadcast crew, the ones that are in there? And then I said, oh, yeah, you guys don't have a lot of those moments that are iconic.
This is what I have to deal with.
Just being objective.
I have to deal with this day in and day out.
Just speaking the truth. Okay, let's get to today's daily fantasy baseball slate. We'll start with some weather notes. A couple things to note here on the slate. We've got Cleveland at White Sox, 15 to 20 mile-an-hour winds to dead center. This is going to be a huge bump in hitting weather for you. Minnesota at the Royals should be okay for now. However, if the model moves south, it could be a complete disaster. So keep an eye on this one for sure. And then we've got the Giants at Colorado. An interesting note for Coors Field here. Scattered showers, nothing too heavy. However, the temperatures are in the 50s. It's absolutely miserable weather there. If you're a player, it's just, it almost eliminates the Coors Field effect, or at least,
it lessens it big time, and we can see that in the game total. I think their game total is 9 or 9.5 today, which we've been seeing 11 or 11.5. So absolutely is a big deal.
Something to take note of today. We'll probably talk a little bit more about some of those teams because still there are a couple teams highly owned there. So let's get to our high-owned pitchers on today's slate. We've got Mariners lefty Robbie Ray going up against the A's. 43% is our projected ownership on both DraftKings and FanDuel. Easy to see why Ray's so highly owned, given the fact that he's going up against the A's today. They strike out, and they're not the best hitting team right now, so he's definitely in a good spot. Are you still liking him given the ownership is high on him as well?
Yeah, I mean, Ray is a guy that we have talked about throughout the year who, when he is high owned, I don't love going with him just because he can be inconsistent. But this is not a situation that I would be really looking to fade him. There's not a ton of pitching on this slate. We're picking on Oakland like we do all season long. He has a 26% combined K rate, low 3.1 implied total. Lots of reasons to like Ray today. I would not be shying away just because of ownership.
Next guy we're talking about is Padres lefty Blake Snell going up against the Cardinals. This one was a bit curious to me. 40% is our projected ownership on DraftKings, 26.5% on FanDuel. Curious to me because the Cardinals are obviously such a great hitting team, especially against lefties.
Yeah.
So are you fading the field on this one?
I probably would. If I'm playing a bunch of lineups, I would maybe sprinkle in a little bit of Snell. But I think he is too far owned for the matchup. It's a really, really tough matchup for Snell. Cardinals crush lefties. Snell also is allowing 45% hard contact. He's allowing tons of barreled balls. There's no doubt in my mind that I think the Cardinals hit a couple over the wall today. However, it really depends on if there's guys on base or not. If they're solo shots, not a big deal. If a couple guys on base, then, those runs kind of add up quick. The other thing to note is that we only have a 21% combined K rate on him today. At his price point, at his ownership, that's just kind of low for me.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen great strikeout stuff back to his SnellZilla form.
Absolutely.
However, it's just tough to go there considering the Cardinals are just absolutely incredible against lefties.
And lately, he's been worse at home, which is weird. Snell's usually way better at home. But over the last month or so, 2 months even maybe, he's been worse at home.
You mentioned there's not a lot of options for today's slate in terms of pitching, but let's take a look at some of the lower owned options where you could find a little more value. First, we're going to look at White Sox righty Lance Lynn. He's going up against the Guardians today. 15% is our projected ownership on DraftKings, just 2% on FanDuel. So you will find some leverage here. He's got an ERA near 4, 2.35 opponent average. And last game against the Guardians, 2 earned runs in 6 1/3 with 6 strikeouts. So decent numbers for him historically against the Guardians.
Yeah, and he's been pitching really, really well lately. 2.4 FIP over his last 5 starts. Really good StatCast data. He is allowing a little bit too many fly balls, 45%. But to go along with that, there's only 18% hard contact. So I'm not really worried about that fly ball percentage here. Combined K rate wise, we're looking at 22%, which I just mentioned Snell's at 21. So he's cheaper than Snell. He has lower ownership than Snell and a higher combined K rate.
So good option there to play to try to get some leverage against the field in those big contests. Let's take a look now at Tigers righty Matt Manning. He's going up against the Orioles today, and just 2% is our projected ownership on DraftKings and FanDuel. So hardly anyone's going to him, and he's got really good numbers: 3.28 ERA, 2.34 opponent average, and he's been really good lately. He held the White Sox scoreless through 7 in his last outing, so he definitely has the ability to put away some decent teams.
And he's shown a decent ceiling this season too, and especially lately. But it is still a little bit of a weird one. He has been better at home than away. Most of his good games have been at home. He is away in this one, so it is a little bit of a worry. But 3.27 FIP, only a 19.6% K rate, so not a ton of upside, but he is so cheap that it's plenty of upside there. But he's been really efficient. He's been working deeper into games. 13.1 innings, 2 earned runs, and 9 Ks were his last 2 starts. So he's done really, really well. He's cheap. I like it. I don't know if I'd be going there on FanDuel. But as a SP2 on DraftKings, I like it. And then a couple other starters that I'm kind of interested in, Dustin May and Logan Webb.
All right. So some good options there, low owned, and we like kind of Robbie Ray, maybe Blake Snell. perhaps. But some good options there for your pitching for today. Not the most attractive slate in terms of pitching, but there are some plays there. Now let's get to our team stacks for today. We'll start off high-owned, get to our low-owned. For our high-owned team stacks for today on Daily Fantasy, we're looking at San Francisco going up against Rockies. It'll be Herman Marquez for the Rockies on the hill. We did mention there is a weather note here. 5.14 ERA, though, for Marquez, 2.64 average, and he has gotten blown up quite a bit over this season. So certainly it's there. However, my concern is the weather. Does that impact your assessment at all?
It absolutely does. We're not going to see the normal Coors bump. It is still the thinner air. The ball still will travel a little bit more. So the cooler temperatures and the wind coming in don't affect Coors as much as other places, but there is still an effect. So we do need to worry about that. Marquez hasn't been good. FIP of 6. He's been worse at home. So I see why people are going to the Giants. Just if their ownership stays really high, I would consider going elsewhere.
Right. One of the few situations where you're like, I might fade Coors Field today. Next up, we've got the Dodgers going up against the D-backs. It'll be Madison Bumgarner toeing the rubber for them. 5.01 ERA, 2.88 opponent average. Hasn't exactly been the best season for Mad Bum. Now, he hasn't faced the Dodgers since May, but he did give up 8 earned runs against them among those 2 and gave up 3 homers. So they've gotten to him in the past. Granted, it was a little while ago. But this is a Dodgers team. We know what they're capable of offensively going against a Mad Bum who is far from his best days as a pitcher.
I'm going to say it. Mad Bum is washed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He certainly hasn't been putting up great numbers.
And he's worse on the road. He's giving up a ton of barrel balls, almost 35% hard contact. And the Dodgers have crushed him this year. So I think there's a lot of reason to go to the Dodgers.
Let's take a look now at some low-owned plays for today in terms of our team stacks. The first team we're looking at is going to be the Rangers. They're going up against Angels' Tucker Davidson, who's got a really high ERA, 6.96 for him.
Not
and
good.
He's gotten shelled the last 2 games by the Astros. So certainly the Rangers are in a great spot. And given the ownership is a little bit low on them, could be a nice play.
Yeah, and the Rangers have absolutely crushed lefties, especially lately. The team has been hitting pretty well. Davidson, meanwhile, like you said, he hasn't been good. He's been allowing a lot of home runs. I think he's averaging 2 per 9. So I think this is a really interesting spot for the Rangers.
Let's take a look now at the Cardinals. We talked a little bit about... Yeah, sorry, Tyler. However, we do need to look at them from a daily fantasy perspective because they have been so phenomenal against lefties. We mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Snell, who's a very high-owned pitcher. So it could give you great leverage. If a lot of people are owning Blake Snell and you fade them and Cardinals go off, you're in a great spot.
This is a really good leverage spot. If Snell's ownership stays this high, you got to look at St. Louis in this situation. They crush lefties. Snell's been giving up a lot of hard contact, almost 45% hard contact, ton of barreled balls. I love the upside with the Cardinals today.
Yeah.
And with all that leverage, it's kind of a no-brainer to sprinkle them in a little bit.
All right, so there's a look at your daily fantasy plays for today in the 9-game slate. For all of that information that we use, you can find it on the LineStar app. LineStarApp.com, link is below to that. Definitely want to check it out. One-stop shop for all of your research for daily fantasy. Use the lineup optimizer. Also use our brand new tool, Props Edge. It's unreal. It's great. Tells you the best edges against the sports books, against UnderDog fantasy, against PrizePicks, giving you the best bets every time you play. It's definitely a useful resource for us in our props show. It's what we use. So check out LineStarApp.com. Subscription prices right now $29.99, which is a great deal. You won't find a better price for all the tools you're getting on the market right now. I guarantee you that. It's just an awesome tool. I love it.
It is.
So much. So also, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, just want to mention that We'd really appreciate if you could just like our video if you're enjoying our content. Helps us out a little bit. Also, subscribe to our channel so you're keeping up with all the video content that we've got coming out. And you might even want to sign up for notifications. I know sometimes it's annoying to sign up for notifications for certain things. However, we do have these Props Edge shows that come out, and a lot of times you want to watch that right away because they do take off some of the props that we recommend. So getting in early, seeing what we have for those is pretty crucial.
That or the line moves, like
Right.
the Trey Lance rushing line last week that I picked. Unfortunately, didn't work out because of a very serious injury early
Right.
in the game. But when we mentioned it, it was like 38.5 rushing yards. By Sunday, that was up to 43.5.
Right.
So a very big increase in that line.
So notifications, the way to go. Let's move on to our home run calls of the day. Tyler, where are you headed for your home run call today?
I'm going with Texas Rangers Marcus Semien. Tucker Davidson has given up 2 home runs per 9, and Semien has just been scorching hot lately, hitting .420 over the last week, .340 over the last month, and he has an ISO of .248 over that time. So he's hitting the ball well. Davidson is letting people hit the ball well, so I think he's going to go yard.
Let's go. You know where I'm going with this. No need to even ask.
Chase history.
You all know where I'm going with this. Aaron Judge chasing history today, going up against Roansy Contreras for the Pirates. He's a good pitcher. However, he has been a little limited lately. The Pirates are keeping him on a workload management situation, just threw 55 pitches the last time he was out there. So I do expect them to get to their bullpen fairly early. And their bullpen has the highest ERA in baseball. Meanwhile, Aaron Judge is on an absolute tear. Listen to this stat of the day right here. Major League average slugging percentage, 396. Aaron Judge's slugging percentage in the month of September, 1017. Almost 3 times the average slugging. Absolutely unreal. I rest my case. All rise for the Judge.
He's going to look great in Padres brown.
Oh, there is the zinger. Oh, man, that's a visualization I did not need today, Tyler. Thank you so much.
Josh.
Let's get to our prop bets of the day. Remember, you can play along with our prop bets contest and win $60. All you have to do is be sure to like this video, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and comment below. That's all. And one lucky commenter will win $60 if both Tyler and I hit our props for today. They are available on UnderDog Fantasy, so make sure you tail us there. And the link to that is below. New users who deposit at least $10 will get up to $100 of your deposit matched. Link is below. You'll also get 2 free months of LineStar. So, pretty good deal there. Now let's get to those prop bets of the day. Tyler, where are you headed for your prop bet?
I'm going with Cleveland Guardians outfielder Miles Straw over 0.5 hits. Straw is on fire right now. He has a 9-game hitting streak, hitting .410 over the last week. 290 over the last month. Plus, we have some of the best hitting weather on the slate with strong winds blowing out. I like Straw for a single. All he's got to do is 1 hit.
That's crazy that you're getting a hitter hitting over 400 in the week. You're just 0.5 hits. Great bet.
Sign me up.
I like it.
Lance is good, but Straw just needs one little
knock. I'm going to the Yankees once again, and I am going with the king of the short porch, Anthony Rizzo, over 1.5 bases. That's actually plus money in the sports books, plus 120. Now, I know he went through a bit of a slump in the month of August. However, in the month of September, he's been awesome. He's hitting .364 with a 1091 OPS. He's hit this mark in 4 of the last 5 games. As I mentioned with my Aaron Judge home run goal, Contreras he's a great pitcher. However, he's kind of been limited lately. They're working on a workload management situation, so he might not last that long into the game. So you're looking at that Pirates bullpen that has the highest ERA in baseball right now. I'm saying the king of the short porch delivers today. He always does better at home. He's going to give the fans at the Bronx who are there for the Aaron Judge show something else to cheer about.
I like it.
So those are our plays for today. All eyes on Yankee Stadium. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Do we think he hits it today? Because I sure do. I would love if he hits 61 today because it just seems right. You got to have that magic in the Bronx.
If he doesn't hit it, or if he does hit it today, there's a higher likelihood that Yes Network is not on his 62nd.
Which you think is a better call?
62.
Imagine the pressure of being a broadcaster, broadcasting that moment.
Yeah. What if you've had like a month-long cough and
or like you
kind of like
maybe you sit this one out, buddy.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep an eye on. We will certainly be watching that. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Good luck to you in daily fantasy today and your prop bets. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.